How much do you like inflating tires? Because I don't. I hate inflating tires. It's something I do because I have to, but not because I want to. The entire process of pulling out the compressor, unwinding the cable, plugging it into the power, figuring out how to route the line, keeping it from getting caught under truck tires, all of those things make me just not want to do it. Often previously causing me to delay doing it in order to try to avoid the job. I wish I had discovered this thing years ago. This tool and things like it are a game changer when inflating tires. I can inflate my truck tires, which my rear tires go all the way up to 80 psi whenever I'm towing things. I can inflate my wife's truck tires. I can inflate bicycle tires, Onewheel tires, small inflatables, just about anything I need. And it has enough battery that I don't think about it. I wish I had discovered it years ago, but I didn't. So here, I'm going to tell you about it today, because if you haven't discovered it and at some point during each year you find yourself regularly inflating tires or checking tires, this is it. This solution is a portable battery-powered tire inflator. As you can tell, this is basically a handheld unit. It won't fit into like jeans pockets, but it'll fit into a substantial jacket pocket, any sort of bag or backpack you might have. It is completely portable. This particular tire inflator also happens to have a number of other features, some of which are a little gimmicky. You have a flashlight up here, single setting, may be useful at night while trying to inflate tires. It also has USB-C to charge, which is nice, and a USB-A out in order to be able to charge telephones or other things. So you can use the battery in this particular bank to charge other objects. Even off season, whenever I'm not using this thing all the time, I still carry this in my emergency kit in my car because it's great to have around just in case I have a flat or I do need to adjust tire pressures on the fly. This tire charger, also in the rear here, has a series of adapters. It has a Presta adapter, a needle adapter, and then the type of adapter you use for like kids' toys. So they're all kind of stored in the rear here, easy to get access to. Things that I have personally tested about this inflator, I've been able to inflate at least 10 bike tires, basically from flat on a single charge. I've set the beads on Onewheel tires, which use go-kart style tires. So I've been able to set beads on those tires whenever doing replacements. I've been able to inflate them all the way, multiple times, no issue at all. I didn't charge this thing for a month and a half or 2 months last summer while I was running around and using it every few days in order to top off tires or adjust the pressure in some way. I've been able to inflate my truck tires by 5 to 10 psi in order to be able to just balance them out. Trailer tires, same thing. Just for a high pressure test, I tested it on a Brompton tire, which is a small bicycle with 16-inch wheels. And that goes up to 100 psi and it was no problem. In 2 minutes flat, it went from a completely flat tire to being 100% inflated. I'm not saying that this model in particular is perfect, but at least for me, it's great. Hey, check the Amazon reviews. There might be even better now since this one is now about a year old. Few notes about this Nulksen one that I have is that the USB-C port is a little deeper than some of the USB-C connectors that come on charging cables. So you'll want to make sure that whatever USB-C cable you're using to charge this thing is capable of charging it because of how deep this connector is. It's probably about 30% of plugs I found are not compatible with it. Using this thing, you can fire up the charger by holding down the power button. Once it's on, you can hold down the U button, the units button, in order to turn on the flashlight, which I just did. By pressing this button, you can change the units. And then over here, you set the target PSI of what you want it to charge to. So right now it's set to 18 PSI. And then whenever I start running it, if I tap the power button now, it'll start inflating. The device will show whatever the current PSI of the object it's connected to is. It's not connected to anything, so it shows 0 here, but if it were say 13 PSI, it would show 13 PSI. Then what I do is I just tap this button and it starts up. It'll go all the way up to the target PSI, and then it'll turn itself off. Whenever you pull it off, I found that by checking another meter, sometimes it's about 1 PSI off to the high side every time I've checked it. This one has a 6,000 milliamp battery, so, a little bigger than most modern smartphones, so don't think you'll use this as a complete battery bank replacement. When I purchased this thing, I was thinking about one of those like CO2 inflators, because really I was thinking about specifically for bicycles and Onewheels, where I wanted to be able to just top off tires in an emergency basis. Once I decided to buy this thing instead, I'm so glad I did, because all summer long, I didn't pull out my Viair or my tank-based air compressor in order to be able to inflate tires, which is awesome, and it saved me at least 10 hours during the last year of not having to set up and tear down my tire inflator every time I need to use it, just due to the coiled cables and all of that stuff. In the lead up to this video, I did a few tests just to validate how long it took to inflate various objects. Inflating a Onewheel tire from dead flat, completely soft, to 15 psi took about 2 minutes. Inflating a Brompton tire, which is a 16-inch bicycle tire, to 100 psi took about 2.5 minutes. Inflating my wife's car tire from 33 to 38 psi took about 5 minutes total. So that's this device. I just wanted to share this thing. It's the tool I wish I had discovered earlier. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this, and have a great day. Thanks.